Hi. I figured I'd start today's video with me cleaning up after myself from yesterday. So here you are. And because I do this, I like to talk to myself, so I figured what better way of talking to myself than talking to you? Which to me looks like I'm talking to my phone. Which in essence I'm kind of talking to myself. Which is still great because I don't know, I talk to myself. Don't act like you don't do it. So anyway, I got thinking about stuff while I was cleaning my tools up from yesterday. I don't know if you can hear me or not, but I said I was thinking about things from yesterday. I'm thinking about things throughout my career and my stuff. Maybe a lot of you don't even know what I do. And actually, I bet you there's a lot of you that do know that I probably put it together that I'm prior Coast Guard. I don't know what would have given you that thought that I'm prior Coast Guard, but anyway. I retired about a year ago, and what I did in the Coast Guard was metalwork and genuinely annoy people. I say that kind of half-heartedly. I didn't really annoy everybody. There was certain people that I did annoy, and I was happy to do it. It was a service that I gave to them. They come in, all happy and joyful, suck out all the oxygen in the room, which makes it hard for me to breathe. So then I go into a self-preservation mode, and I let them know that they're banditing, taking, swiping, pilfering all of the oxygen that's been given to me in that particular day. And I needed them to either exit or stop. Pretty simple. I didn't have a problem with that. So I would let people know in certain ways that I needed them to stop. And they would let me know in a reciprocal fashion that I am a brown starfish. Okay, that's fine. At least we understand one another. You're stealing, well, not you, but they were stealing my oxygen. I am a big fat beep hole, which is fine. I guess. Wouldn't trade those memories for anything. You know what? Thinking about that. It was all great fun. The reality of it is I had a really difficult time in my life some years back, where there was loss. There was a great deal of loss. And those same people that I would say those things to and then be a jerk to, whatever, just be, me, they were there for me. And I was there for them. I would be there for them. And I mean that in all honesty and all heart. You can see it. Here, I'll show you. For my, these go. It's right here. This picture. You can see it. This picture is here to remind me, which it doesn't need to be reminded, of all the people to help me when I needed help. They're heroes when I need a hero. So if I could ever help them, well, I would, absolutely. But it stays right over here in my shop. Because of the great love and admiration that I have for them. Well, that got heavy. Anyway, so I just figured I'd clean my shop and talk a little bit of my intro, I guess, of this video. So try to figure out how I'm going to start a video. And So that's what I'm doing. What am I doing? Cleaning my files with a file brush. Gotta clean your files. You take good care of your tools will take good care of you. So, yeah. Anyway, oh, this guy right here, don't worry about that guy right there. You didn't hear that. Anyway, let's get after it, shall we? So, I'm set up. This is my Chiefs anchor. I'm going to go ahead and shoot some powder on it. Let's talk about the powders I'm going to use really quick. I get them from Prismatic. Prismatic Powders is where I like to get all my powders from. So we've got, and I think maybe one of these is not a, no, are they? Yeah, I have some powders that are not Prismatic powders. They're Columbia Coatings powders I got from somebody else. And they're good too. I primarily go with Prismatic just because the variety of colors, the variety of clear colors and what they do and how they pop and stuff like that. So yeah. So anyway, we're going to go with Goldsmith. That's my first, basically my base coat, what I'm going to put down. And we're going to do some Flatter Black next, Bronze Metallic, and then we're going to throw some lighter smoke. And then what I don't have sitting here, which I should have, is a clear coat. I'm going to throw all over top of all of it. So let's get it. Let's do it. So I cleaned this really well. I cleaned it with a little ISO. I use like 90% ISO, and I wipe it down, and then I take a torch to the back side and I torch it off. Why do I do that? It works for me. I know other people don't do that, whatever, they have their own way of doing it, whatever, but it works really good for me. Also, I unhook the grounding cable to that so that I can make sure that my air pressure is correct here, which it is not. It's like crazy. All right. The reason that I do that is that if I have my grounding cable hooked up to this while I'm just testing this and making sure that everything is good to go, then I'm just dumping electricity. I'm dumping power into this, which will make it do something called back ionization, which makes the powder just kind of pop off of there because there's too much energy. And maybe we'll talk about that in another video sometime. So I don't hook up that power to it just yet. I just chill, do my thing, and then I hook the power up to it. It wasn't that funny. All right. I could totally touch that while I do this. It's not that big of a deal. Matter of fact, I might just as well so I can hold it. My KVs are down a little bit, which is good. All right, let's do this. Let's turn my KVs up a little bit and my powder down a little bit. That should be sticking a little better. Yeah, I didn't have barely any KVs up. Bring it up about 15. There we go. There we are. I always know that my electricity is doing what it's supposed to do when my shirt starts sticking to my body because of gun. All right, that's more than enough. Beauteous, 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 he says. Okay. Oh, yeah, there it is. I'm staring at it. I'm not staring at the camera. I should be staring at the camera a second. Yeah, so pretty. Okay. So what am I going to do here? I am going to vacuum that off a little bit, I think. Yeah, be right back. There. Vacuumed it off a little bit. Why did I do that? Why did I do that? Because there's little slits and lines and things in here. If I don't do that, then the gold's gonna, it would open up and the gold would go in, and made the mistake before. That's why I'm doing it. You live and learn, you know? You live and learn. Yeah. There you go. And just a couple of minutes, or maybe 1 minute in the oven, doesn't really hurt that decal very much. Just heats it up a little bit. It was only about 200 degrees, but it allowed this to flow out. That's why. Hey, watch this. Hey, I wasn't going to show you this, but I figured I would. So I'm just going to do a really quick one. I'll show you real fast. All right, so what I'm about to do is I'm going to hit this again. There. I'm going to hit it with a bronze. Basically, it's called a bronze metallic. It's a much darker color, and it looks pretty cool, especially after it's been clear coated. I was going to use flatter black, but I decided not to, just because it was like an added step, and I really didn't need to do the added step, and you'd never really see the black behind the color I'm about to shoot on there. So yeah, let's just do it. Sorry, long video. Well, sorry. Canadian roots. Okay. An electrode. I made this cool thing on the top that hangs down. I don't know if you can see that or not, but well, I can see if I point the camera up. Right here is just a stainless steel wire that kind of hangs and dangles down, so it gives me my ground. I have this coat here, and I have the gold on there. I need to use a different little son of gun. I like to call it my snake oil. When I bought this setup, they sent this thing along and said that this will work really well for multiple coats and stuff like that. And then I talked to another guy. He's like, "Oh no, you don't want to use that. That thing's blah blah blah, yada blah da blah blah blah." He seemed like a really knowledgeable dude, so I took what he had to say. I took the thing off. I set my machine, and let's just say it didn't work out so good for the home team. So I called it the snake oil because it works for me. So that's what we use. Onward we go. Okay, I'm going to turn my KVAs up a little bit. Ground is hooked up. Bronze is in there. Hibbity dibbity. I don't want to go too crazy with this because I'm going to end up pushing most of it off. Okay? That's about all I want. And you guys didn't even see that because it wasn't even pointing the right direction. You know, I'm going to hit the fan on. So that's what it did. Okay? And now I'm going to do some other weird stuff. Cool. That should work on the front.
Far away. Come up a little closer to it. You know what I'm doing? Don't get too close.
Okay. All right. You see what's happened to the back side of this. That's what I'm going to try to do to the front side of this in one take. Usually it takes me about like, I don't know, 4 or 5 takes. Let's try. And I'm not even joking. So I'm going to hit it about, I don't know, about 14, 15 inches away. And I'm going to sneak up on it. Let's have a look. Okay, not too bad. Not too bad. You know what? I think we're going to go with that. We're going to go with this up here just a little bit. Yep. I guess you could say what I'm kind of doing with this is painting with air. Because really, you can't see that. Really, it kind of is. I'm pushing the air away. You see that? Or pushing the air away. Pushing the air away? Pushing the air away. Pushing the powder away. Ever so slightly. That's what I'm trying to do. Okay. You guys see. You understand. Okay. Stop looking at my armpit. Woo! Hang on by the skin of teeth. I noticed that if I put it up close to it, whoop, and I go, there's a big poof that comes out. So if I squeeze the trigger, I just hold the trigger, and I come in on it real easy, like to the area that I want to get rid of. Like that. That. If I get that, just a little bit more. Sometimes the powder sticks really good. It doesn't want to be removed. I think that's going to look pretty good. Let's give it a try. All right. Let's put it in. See what happens. Hopefully I don't have to do it completely over again. Because that would kind of suck. Just saying. How long do I leave it in there for? Excuse me, probably about 30 seconds or so. The reason I'm not redoing this part of the video is because I want you to see real time. Man, what I put in the back of my throat, that really sucked. Gosh, that's horrible. Why would I say such a thing? God, I gotta go grab the... All right, that's it's about 30 seconds. Let's have a look. Close. Yeah, dude, check this day out. Beautiful day. Oh, look at it. The dogwood is going off over there. Look at that. Can you see that? Beautiful. All right. Yeah, let's do it. Ow. Butthole. Yep. Okay, so it's not hot anymore. So we just call that flashing it off. Like I'm like a powder coating professional or some crap like that. That is not me. I'm not that guy. What I understand it to be called by professionals who actually do this stuff for like a living and are like good at it. They call it flow out or flashing it off. I call it just cooking it a little bit till it gets all gummy. And when it gets all gummy, then we pull the things off, and then it looks all pretty. Let's go do that. Hey, let me take this opportunity to say thanks. Thanks. I mean, there's a lot of YouTube videos that you guys could probably look at, and there's a lot of content creators and all that kind of stuff like that. I don't really think I'm a content creator. I just like to talk to myself a lot. Like probably a uncomfortable amount. Or as some people would say, uncomfortable amount. Or I would say uncomfortable. That one's for you, sweetheart. My wife out there, who's probably never gonna watch this video. Let's just be honest here. She might, I don't know. But anyway, it's time for lunch. But I figured I'd at least say thanks. Leftovers. 4 days old. Whatever. We're gonna pull that sticker off right now. You know what? I was doing the time lapse, which you just saw, which was like a... But I figured I'd just show you. So, come on in here real close like. Get on in there. Get on in there. My little handheld heat gun. And I pulled some of it off already. And we're just going to keep going here. I use a heat gun underneath of it. You have to be very careful because the powder is not completely cured. The powder is actually, like what we say, just flashed off. So the powder's it can turn liquid again, and it can also chip. The powder is very fragile at this point. You have to be very, very careful. Last thing you want to do is go too fast and allow the powder to chip on the piece of metal that you're using. If it chips, then it's kind of a pain, especially for something that's like in your face, really close to what you're working on, as this is, like in your face. Let me try that again. In your face, like the piece of the art is like right up front. Everybody's gonna be looking at this. There's no place for you to hide. There's no issue that you can hide successfully. You can just, so take your time. Go easy. Nice and slow like. This was the first piece of, first sticker that I put down. So it's obviously coming up a different color. Basically, it's just coming up fresh aluminum, really. If you take your time, then you'll notice that the sticker the decal comes off really easily. And a lot of times it'll come off in one grab. Mitigate your heat. Like, it's really starting to get pretty hot on my fingers. But just take your time. Take it easy. There's no rush. I'm not getting paid by the hour. Okay. Woo! Oh, brother, that's hot. Woo! Okay, I'm gonna go back over. I'm gonna grab the stars off of here. Already has plenty of heat. I don't need to. I got to be really careful because these tweezers are like steel, and this is aluminum, and then I can scratch this aluminum pretty easily with these tweezers. And then for my friends out there who happen to be prior QAs or are QAs now, quality assurance, look at that and go, "Oh, there's a tool mark. I see a tool mark." And I would be like, "Yeah, I know. I know. The tool mark. Yeah." And I would totally expect them to sound just like that, too, because I just made fun of them. "Yeah, Paul, you're so funny. Smelling." Yeah. We're getting close. We're getting close to being done with the stars. I talked about yesterday a little bit about why I like to do powder coating instead of just painting, among lots of different reasons. Yesterday, the video prior to this one, one of the biggest reasons is because I'm impatient. If I do this with paint, this is several coats. I have to do several coats over several different days. I really don't want to wait all that time. And for those of you who really like the satisfying stuff, as long as I mitigate, as long as I regulate, mitigate, I don't know why you keep using that word. You keep using. I do not think it means what you think it means. That would have been a good spot to put a video, little thing in there, but I don't have that kind of technology. Oh, look at that. See that? A little sticker right there. That one little one. Come here, you. Here, oh, you need a little heat? Something's already hot enough, no? Got it. Got him. Got him. Now I'm just a little constant pull on this, and when the sticker is ready to release, it will. Like that. Don't get impatient, although I was just talking about how impatient I am. But yeah, that's the biggest reason that I use this type of stuff, is because I can do all of this powder coating same day. And personally, I think that I like using powder coat better because my cleanup is way easier. It's faster. It's just I don't know. It's just a better way of doing things. See all that one long sticker. Just by being patient and allowing it to unstick itself. Did I miss anything? Did I miss anything? Is there any pieces on here? Doesn't look like it. Yeah. Doesn't look too bad. So I'm gonna go over this with a little bit of alcohol wipe, just in case there's residual adhesive on it. Real light-like, because I want all the shading and stuff to stay in there. Yeah. Word. But why did I say that? No, there we go. 10 minutes, 400 degrees, good to go. So now when I pull it out, it's completely cured. That's the word I'm looking for. It's completely cured. So all I got to do is put some clear coat on it, which I'm all set up to do. Yeah. Little thing got stuck on the back. Woo! Still warm. Okay. Yeah, it's plenty cool off enough. Okay, so I have my system set up here. I'm gonna check it one more time, make sure that it is good to go with the air pressure and how it's coming out of my nice cloud there. Nice cloud. Okay. No need for me to do anything else to this because it just freshly came out of the oven, so it's ready to accept the stuff here. I'm going to turn my KV up just a touch so I can get that. Good. I think that's probably going to be plenty. Yeah. Plenty, Paul. That means stop. Well, but it could probably use a little more. Knock it off. All right. In the oven it goes. So that was fast. Cookies are done. 375 degrees for 8 minutes. Okay. You want me to show you? Sure, I'll show you. There you go. And here we are. We're at the end of this. You made it. If you made it this far, then that means that my mom's probably paying you. Thanks, Mom. Appreciate it. Mother's Day's coming up here real soon, too. Anyway, it's Natrel glove time. I want to dedicate this YouTube video, to my buddies, the people that I worked with throughout my career in the Coast Guard. I want to dedicate it to them because they're a bunch of badass people, man. Even the ones that are that I didn't see eye to eye with. And there might have been a couple. One or two, I don't know. Butter? No, not like that. I got along with a lot of people. I'd like to think that maybe my mom was paying them. And my mom's rich. Anyway, yeah, I'd like to dedicate it to those people. A bunch of good people. And they're not all in this picture either. That was a really, really crappy time in my life and my daughter's life. My daughter here and my daughter here. And I name all these people, but the video's all been long enough. Dude, all those people were solid people. Solid people. If you ever need somebody to be in your corner, I pray that you have people like this in your corner. So I dedicate this video to them. And do a smart thing. Be genuinely decent to people. And I'm not saying get into the Coast Guard. Get into the Coast Guard. Get in the military. Support your military. Support the branches. Support them all. Even the Space Force. I'm not laughing. Anyway. Here it is. It came out okay. I put, instead of putting the lighter smoke on this, what I did is I just put a clear coat on it. The clear coat is it's a low cure, which when I say low cure, it's kind of silly. It's, you know, $3.75 for 8 minutes. Oh, good beer. I mean, good natural glove. And yeah, I think it came out all right. Tell me what you guys think in the comments, okay? Tell me what you think. Here's the backside of it. What do you think about the whole process? I know I'm long-winded. That's something that we learned today, but it's common knowledge, so if you didn't know, you know. I'm long-winded. Yeah, I think it turned out all right. All right, I'll take some stills. I'll be at the end of the video. God bless you guys.